Hey everyone, Hitesh here from ET's Personal Tech Team. What I have here is the V15 Pro by Vivo. Now this, as you can see, is a full screen display, no notch, because it has a pop-up camera. So this is Vivo's latest attempt at getting you that elusive all-screen experience. Now if you remember that Vivo's actually done it before with the NEX or the Nex if you prefer. The Vivo Nex had the first motorized pop-up camera, and the Oppo followed up with the Find X, and that had the entire top half of the the top of the phone sliding up and down in that motorized manner. So let's take a look at what we get in the box of the V15 Pro, and we can show you some nice little close-up look at the design and the features of this device as well. So looking at the box here, there is a brief mention of the specifications over here. This is the first device with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 675. It's the AI engine, of course. The in-display fingerprint and ultra full view. Here you can see that they've mentioned the triple rear camera and the 32 megapixel pop-up selfie camera. It also very clearly says made in India. This is manufactured in the Greater Noida plant. And this particular variant is the Topaz Blue. There are going to be two color variants or so, we've told. Anyhow, let's dive in and see what we get in the box. So first up, we get the case. It's an interesting case, slightly different from the usual kind of case. It's actually a hard case. It's not the flexible type of case that we have usually seen included in the box. This is the cutout for the triple rear camera, you can see, and it's got a section on top where the pop-up camera would come out from. So it's a hard case, flexible sides, and this black and transparent section. Also, we get some basic documentation. There is the SIM eject tool. We'll keep that off to the side. Here is the V15 Pro. Let's see what else we get in the box. 3.5mm earphones. Nice surprise addition there. This is the USB cable. It is a micro USB, not a Type-C. That should give you a hint as to what segment Vivo is targeting with this price-wise. Here's the power brick. 9-volt 2-amp. So fast charger there. The standard warning for the in-display fingerprint sensor, and another warning here to not block the proximity and ambient light sensors which are behind the display in this case. So here's the Topaz Blue Vivo V15 Pro. Here's a closer look at the triple rear camera. It's a 48 megapixel f1.8. That's the primary at the bottom over there. There's an 8 megapixel 120 degree field of view wide angle in the center. That wide angle is f2.2, and the last one is a 5 megapixel 2.4 aperture that's used for the bokeh. Here you can see the pop-up camera section. There's the 3.5mm audio jack, micro USB port, and SIM tray at the bottom. This does have a dedicated micro SD slot in case you were wondering. Here's the power and volume. Here's a close-up look at the top where the earpiece is. You can see, you can get a hint of the earpiece right up top. Let's power this up. While that's happening, we can talk a little bit more about the device. So the Vivo Nex that came out last year, I think it probably didn't do well because it was a little too expensive. Same thing with the Oppo Find X. I mean, you're getting into the Apple and the premium Samsung or Pixel territory with the really expensive phones, and then most people probably just went for those. But the V15 Pro, we are expecting, we don't have the final price, we're expecting it to be about 25 to 30,000 rupees, and that makes it quite a good deal for this kind of display. You can see the phone's on. There is no notch, no hole punch, nothing to break up the expanse of the display. It's a Super AMOLED display as well. 6.39-inch Super AMOLED, 2340 by 1080 pixels, so high resolution there as well. They call it the Ultra Full View. And Vivo saying that they have included the 5th generation fingerprint scanner technology into this, so really fast the fingerprint unlock, and yes, of course, face unlock is there as well. So let's set this up and then we can talk a little bit more about it. So here I have the V15 Pro setup, and let me show you the Vivo Nex. I will keep that next to it, and you can see how close they are in terms of the overall size and the bezel size as well. If you look, the bezel on these two sides and the top is really thin on the V15 Pro. I can show you the Nex. The Nex is still available. This is for 40,000. So comparable size of chin as well, and comparable size of the slim bezels on the sides and the top. Let's show you the pop-up camera. You switch to the front camera and the pop-up camera comes out. Let me show you that again. Not sure if you can hear that, but it also makes a tiny sound, like a machine sound. It pops up quite fast, and you can also use that for face unlock. Now, I mentioned earlier this was the first Snapdragon 675, and it has the AI engine. This particular one is the 6GB RAM, 128GB storage. It's expandable. The 32 megapixel pop-up camera that you just saw, it's an f2.0 aperture. And at the back, I did mention already the 48 plus 8 plus 5 megapixel AI camera. The weight is about 185 grams, so not very light, but it does feel good in the hand. The back is glass and it is susceptible to the usual smudges. That is something you will have to live with for the glass design, but it does look very nice, very premium indeed, because of all these beautiful reflections. One of the concerns with the pop-up camera is the durability aspect of it. Now, Vivo says that the pop-up mechanism in this has an 8-year life if you use it up to 100 times a day. That's what they've tested it for. So even if you do the camera pop-up 100 times a day, they are saying you can use this phone for 8 years without an issue. And that is definitely a lot longer than what most people keep their phones for. You would probably expect this to last 2 years at the most. So this really is an effort to bring that same ultra slim bezel motorized pop-up camera to a more affordable price. If they can manage to price this close to about 25,000 or 28,000, that would be pretty good, and I'm sure a lot of people would be looking for something like this. The performance on the 675 also promises to be pretty good. It's not a flagship class 800 series processor, obviously, but it will do for almost anything you want to throw at it, including gaming, including all of your PUBG and all the other high-res games that you want to play. So that's about it for the first look at the V15 Pro. Let us know what you think about it. If you have any further questions, you can reach out to us directly in the comment section or on Twitter. Thanks for watching.